thank you. As you all know, it's no one's dream to speak after Senator Elliott. I appreciate the opportunity to. I have some written remarks, forgive me for that, but I wanted to make sure I say what I want to say because like my colleagues behind me, we could stay in here all day and talk about our schools and our communities and our students and our teachers. My name is Tippy McCullough, Arkansas representative for District 33 here in Little Rock. I'm also a teacher. I taught English and coached basketball for 33 and a half years. Yes, 33 and a half. I count every minute. I proudly finished my teaching career at Central High School in Little Rock School District. As a teacher these days, you feel bombarded by the latest directives, the latest professional development, meeting after meeting, the deep and far-reaching needs of your students, the extra clubs you sponsor, the duties you take on, getting up and reading articles in the newspaper about how you missed too many days of work, the takeover of your school district, the advent of more and more charter schools, being tugged in every direction except where you want to be, and that is planning for and teaching your students about the subject you're passionate about. And then Senate Bill 620 is introduced in the state legislature about a voucher bill. A bill that has taken a pilot plan that will take 500 students out of your schools. And after having been taken over more than 4 years ago, the Little Rock School District is in worse shape than when it was taken over. So much so that Senator Will Bond, Representative Andrew Collins, along with co-sponsors, House Democratic Minority Leader Charles Blake, Senator Linda Chesterfield, Senator Elliott, and myself have introduced Senate Bill 553, a way out of state takeover for our district, a way to get our schools back. Under state control, our schools are going backward instead of forward. I hope everyone can get behind this bill, but now I'm going to turn attention back to 620. I spent 14 and a quarter years teaching at a private school in Little Rock at Mount St. Mary Academy, and 19 and a quarter years divided up among places all over the state: Kingston High School, Northwest Arkansas; Newport High School, Eastern Arkansas; Mount Pine High School around Hot Springs; and Central High School here in Little Rock. I tell you this because I'm in the unique position of having taught at a public school and at a private school. Both types of these schools have their purpose. In my opinion, we already have school choice. I've seen parents make great sacrifices because it's their priority to send their child to a private school. Private school is an option, but it is not for everyone. And an experiment to take certain students from public schools and place them in private schools is misguided at best. This is not the recipe for success that our students need. And I know that this program will not help Central High School. It will not help Hall High School or any of the other schools in my district. It will hurt classrooms and schools and teachers, not just in Little Rock, but all over Pulaski County. This is a movement to abandon our public schools and instead send a few chosen kids to private schools. It poses a threat to the very idea of public schools and, more importantly, turns its head on the state's responsibility to guarantee a good education for all students. Teachers and students are further thrown into turmoil by the changes forced on the public school systems. I will not abandon our public schools or the children of this county. I will fight every day to make sure our schools have money for books, staff, and safe environment. I will not be a part of splitting up money to send to private schools so that a few students can benefit. Pulaski County communities love their schools. The Little Rock community loves its schools, and we have the fiercest advocates for them. I'm confident the community will make itself heard on this issue. The pilot is another threat to our public schools, along with the advent of multiple charter schools, and therefore a threat to our communities. And as Senator Elliott said, we cannot continue to let racial tensions continue to divide our communities. And finally, I wish we lived in a state where we find ways to find money to lift up our public schools instead of finding ways to find money to give away to private schools.